This morning, I got a very disturbing call from a MAGA person, which illustrates that these guys live in a complete different world, which we all know. Sometimes these worlds are manufactured and sometimes they are just willfully ignorant. And I think this guy that called in is a combination of both. Some things he really doesn't know, and some things he decides to be willfully ignorant about it. He called in to complain about us not calling the burning of the Tesla cars, etc., domestic terrorism. We call it vandalism, which is what it is, but they want it to be called domestic terrorism. Okay, fine. I then went and asked if he thought what January 6th, what happened on January 6th, whether that was domestic terror. And we know it is, because by full definition, what occurred was domestic terrorism. I mean, Obama spoke about it, that this is where the violence in this country was emanating from. And Obama was forced to pull that FBI document. But we know that we have right-wing domestic terrorists in our midst. And we know they came into fruition on January 6th. And we have the video evidence on January 6th. I want you to listen to what this guy had to say, and then we'll take it on the other side. Let's go to Jim. Come on in, Jim.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, my brother. Talk to me.
I was listening to you yesterday, and you were talking to Brian about the Tesla, attacks. He asked you if your opinion was it vandalism or terrorism, and you said it was vandalism.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit confused about that. I don't really understand how you can confuse that with think it's vandalism and not terrorism. I mean, but it's one thing to break a car window or slash their tires or spray paint on it. It's another thing to throw a firebomb at it and blowing it up and doing the same to a Tesla dealership. Okay,
let's stop you a second there, Jim. I live in Kingwood, and I have cameras around my home. And there was a guy who put Roman candles and firebombed my home. They put it into the meals, firebombed my homes. They made it, the news made every single channel. ABC, CBS, NBC. It also made it in every newspaper. My question to you is, every one of those reporters called it vandalism. Not only that, guess who else called what's happening to Tesla vandalism right now? Elon Musk. Even Elon Musk hasn't called it domestic terrorism.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure about that. Neil, go ahead.
Okay, let me. I got confused. Sorry. Let me just push back on this whole narrative. What's going on at Tesla are peaceful protests 99% of the time. I don't want people to feel the Tesla dealership. I have 200 feet between the sidewalk and the door. Protests have been extremely peaceful and getting people afraid. They're getting people to be afraid to go.
Okay, and that is true. So what Neil just said is important. Neil pointed out that even though everybody is concentrating on the fire bombs that is occurring on the Tesla cars, that is a sensationalism part of it. It's terrible. It's horrendous. But compared to all the other protests going on around the country against Tesla, that is not what you see. A lot of people are protesting Tesla without burning up cars, but all you see is a part where cars are burnt up. Anything else, Jim? But yes, I'm sure that he called it vandalism, Jim. Anything else, Jim?
I still don't understand how you not consider that terrorism, because if you think about it, Elon Musk works for Trump in the government, and terrorism is fighting against terror against the current government. If Elon wasn't working for the government, none of these firebombs would be happening. None of the Tesla protests would be happening.
Exactly. But again, it's
all that other stuff.
Jim, let me ask you a question. Jim, I think it is clear that it is vandalism. I think it is absolutely clear that it's vandalism. Now, when it comes to calling it domestic, Jim, one at a time. Jim, please, one at a time. All right. Jim, it's absolutely clear it's vandalism. Now, let's see, does that vandalism take the other step to domestic terrorism? You believe it is. I believe it is not. Elon Musk believe it is not. Okay? So what I'm saying is, when you saw January 6th, did you feel immediately that was domestic terrorism?
Not really, no.
There you go. So that is, I mean, that was a group that actively went to Capitol Hill, the center of our government, broke into it to try to get the. Sir, you can go on any television network and watch them take different tools to break into the Capitol. You saw that with your own eyes, right? Yes or no? Did you see these guys breaking into the Capitol? Did you see them breaking doors? Did you see them fighting police officers as they try to keep them out? Did you see that?
I saw people being let into the Capitol.
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, Jim, America is listening to you right now. All over the country right now is listening to you. Guys, I'm coming to all the callers. It's completely filled up. But this is a point that I need to get to with Jim. All right, I want to start with you, Jim, because your way of thinking is very important right now for America to see. Number one, you believe that those people who are vandalizing Tesla cars are domestic terrorists, correct?
Well, they're using violent means to
all I'm asking you, sir, Jim, I'm asking you for I want, Jim, I'm trying to get clarity for our listeners here. This is important. So I ask you to do me the favor and answer as I'm asking. You believe it's domestic terrorism, what they're doing?
Yes, and also
now you also believe that it's domestic terrorism because Elon Musk works for Trump, who is our head of state, correct? And
yes,
terrorism is when you're trying to change laws by violent force, correct?
That sums it up, yeah.
Okay,
and
good. So, okay, no, that's fine. We accept that. So that's where you are. Now, on January 6th, we had many what we proved to be domestic terrorists, and way over 500 of them were convicted for what they did. You are not calling that domestic terrorism, and you claim that you did not see anybody break any windows to get into the Capitol. Is that correct? Yes or no?
I did not see that, sir. I saw.
Okay, that's fine. You didn't see anybody break windows to get into the Capitol. You didn't see any spray painting of anything to get in on the Capitol floors, right? Correct?
I did not see that.
And you didn't see them beat. You didn't see them beating police officers. You didn't see those guys in Washington beating police officers. Correct?
I don't believe any police officers were beaten at that time.
Okay, and hold on a second. And you also did see the scene where police officers' necks were almost ripped off as they were trying to keep people out, and they would close the door on a police officer's neck. You didn't see that either, right?
Is there a point to this? Because this all happened.
I'm making a point here. Did you see that, or didn't you see that?
Can you repeat that?
Did you see when a police officer his neck was jammed in a door in Washington, D.C. by the protesters or I call them insurrectionists? You didn't see when they did that?
I didn't see much of it, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right. So folks, to the listener, Jim, okay, hold on, Jim. Jim, hold on. America, this is what I'm talking about. If you listen to Jim, most people that watch standard TV, most people that watch their media feed, etc., they were able to see these actions. I mean, it doesn't matter how you interpret these actions. They were able to see these actions. But we have a sect, a group of people out there that are so insulated from reality, from the news that actually occurred, that Jim, who's calling in now, Jim may be an honest guy. I don't know if Jim is fooling me with saying he never saw these things, but these things occurred. There are near 1,000 people that were convicted for beating on police officers because they have the evidence for all of this. And here we have Jim that says he didn't see any of that. He's willing to call the attacks, the few attacks on Tesla cars, domestic terrorism. But what occurred in Washington, D.C. with thousands of people doing these things, he knows nothing about. That's a danger for this country. That is something that needs mitigating. It is a severe danger. I don't know if Jim is, I have a tendency to believe Jim may be living what he sees in his world. And that's the problem. Jim, I got a lot of calls. I think I spent a lot of time with you, sir. And I think I gave you a lot of time to talk. Thank you so kindly, my brother. Now, interestingly, after listening to him, to some extent, I gave this guy, just to some extent, the benefit of the doubt. In other words, I gave him the manufactured reality. In other words, Fox News and OAN and their Reddits and all of that they cater to have them in a bubble. So partially that, but he's also, in my opinion, willfully ignorant, trying to not see what doesn't fit what he wants to see. But you know, one of my listeners this morning just said, Egberto, there is no way Jim don't know all the things you listed to him. He agreed with it and won't accept the double standard, GOP standard practice. And Glenn Ryan is correct. We get a double standard when it comes to good and bad. If we take a look at what's happening with Hegseth, this guy completely released information, secret information on a channel. And he refuses to accept it. But at the same time, we have the director of Gabbard coming out and say, anybody found leaking, they will be face the law immediately. Well, it seems to me that this applies to Hegseth. This is, as Glenn Ryan says, GOP standard practice. And until we can get around that with a lot of MAGA folks, etc., it's going to be a hard troggling in America. But you know what? That's why we do what we do. We intend to change that.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.